Chapter 14, 11 Greenclaw Ghost Winged Lion. Translator, Atlas Studios. Editor, Atlas Studios. This was a bronze hall. At the center of the hall there was a metallic lamp hanging on a crane neck. The neck was long and curvy. At the tip of its beak there was a flame that was the size of a peach. This flame shone over the entire hall. The flame was weak. The corners of the bronze hall were still covered in darkness. A thin young Goo Master was standing on a huge concrete tile of the palace. There was a huge pillar beside him. It was red and thick. To encircle it, 3 grown men would need to stretch their arms out. When the light shined, the pillar blocked a huge portion of it. The young Goo Master's body was half concealed in darkness and shadows. It was Han Li. Han Li was currently covered in sweat. He was uncertain in his heart. I was too overconfident. This senior Gen Yuan Z might be a righteous path Goo immortal, but someone like me has no qualifications to take his true inheritance. I could get to this point after exerting all my energy. Some of the steps were through pure luck. Han Li had gone through a lot. He was clear about the danger of this bronze hall. Thinking about it, he felt great lingering fear. Actually, righteous path inheritances were usually not dangerous. Demonic path was the one with vicious setups and schemes. Although Gen Yuan Z's inheritance test had its dangers, they were nothing of concern for Goo immortals. But for the Goo Master Han Li, it was too dangerous. Han Li was someone with great luck, and because his luck was connected to Fang Yuan, he had endless fortuitous encounters. He had rank 4 cultivation level now. Such cultivation speed, at this age without any Goo immortals helping him, was really rare. Han Li stood on the spot. He did not take a step ahead. He tried to turn around and look at the path he had walked on. He wanted to retreat. This Gen Yuan Z's Goo immortal, true inheritance was too high level for him, even though it was alluring. Han Li had already woken up and faced reality. He thought for a while before moving his right leg towards the back. At the next moment, his field of vision changed. I went ahead instead. Han Li looked around, his expression turning pale. He found that the red pillar was far behind him. He had advanced by more than 10 steps ahead. He had become much closer to that metallic crane neck lamp now. As long as he can get there, Han Li would be able to inherit Gen Yuan Z's true inheritance. But right now, Han Li had already decided on retreating. His advancement was just because of pure chance. He had accidentally done it. His true intention was to leave the place, but he actually went forward instead. It was obvious that if he wanted to advance and chose other directions to move, the result would be disastrous. Han Li, as a lone cultivator, had shallow foundations in formation path. He was nearly clueless. To put it nicely, he was an unschooled cultivator with just some cheap tricks. He could get here because of his intelligence, his calm decisions, and pure luck. Out of these elements, luck was the most prominent aspect. And this made Han Li increasingly less confident. Because luck was not dependable. If a logical person does things solely based on luck, that was just gambling. Sigh, I am betting my life now. It seems that moving back towards the right is safer. Han Li observed at this point he was clueless. He was moving based on feelings. So he moved back. Swoosh! His field of vision changed again. The result was shocking because his advancement was even greater now. He was dozens of steps ahead. The metallic crane neck lamp that represented success was very close to him now. Han Li could barely touch it with his arms outstretched now. Of course, he was still a small distance from success. And this tiny distance meant everything. Han Li hesitated. Facing this situation, he was sure to waver. After all, success was right in front of him. There was just one step left. But is this really correct? Han Li fell into difficult contemplation. Time passed quickly, but in his perception, he felt like it was only one instant. The difficult decision made him sweat profusely, but in the end, his reason surpassed the greed in his heart. How can one blindly rely on chance in the road of cultivation? Han Li let out a breath of air. He relaxed his body. His entire mental state settled. He started to find the way to retreat. This bronze hall was just created by the formation space. It was like the palace that Fang Yuan lived in at the southern border's Super Dream Realm Gu Formation. Han Li was currently at the center of the Gu Formation. However, the path of retreat was very obvious now. Even Han Li, with little formation path foundation, could tell. Han Li had a clear mind. Following this path of retreat, he went back and got further away from the metallic crane neck lamp. I hope my following journey is as simple and smooth as this. Han Li thought that when his field of vision changed suddenly. He was shocked to find out that he had directly appeared before the metallic crane neck lamp. What? What happened? Han Li could not understand. A will slowly woke up in the lamp. An old voice spoke in Han Li's head in a groggy tone, like it had just woken up. Not bad, not bad, fated one. You were able to get past the formation and arrive before me. It shows that you are qualified to inherit the true inheritance. Han Li was extremely embarrassed. I actually wanted to leave. The voice became clearer and smoother. Hey, this was Zhen Yuanzi's intention when he made the formation. When the metallic crane neck lamp is extremely close to you, any decision of moving forward is wrong. Only a Gu immortal with incredible wisdom and deep formation path attainment will understand this. The only way forward is backwards. Or perhaps those Gu immortals who had low formation path attainment but knew when to retreat, they would have a chance of getting the true inheritance because of their wise choice. Han Li understood finally. This means that I am the second type. And aren't you Senior Zhen Yuanzi's will? Of course not. I am Formation Spirit Immortal Gu. I was created by Senior Zhen Yuanzi. Nobody knew about me. The voice continued. Han Li did not understand. Formation Spirit? Don't you get it? Blessed lands have land spirits. Grotto heavens have heavenly spirits. Gu formations naturally can have formation spirits. Why are you a Gu master? You are not a Gu immortal. Suddenly the formation spirit shouted, I am sorry, I really am here by chance. If I am not qualified to get the true inheritance, can I leave? Han Li smiled awkwardly. The formation spirit was confused. Unbelievable. You are not a Gu immortal. How did you pass the middle steps? With just luck, how lucky must you be? Oh no. Oh no. Han Li thought that the formation spirit was going to praise his luck. The formation spirit said loudly, This is really bad. Zhen Yuanzi had planned to pick a Gu immortal inheritor. You do not have immortal essence. You cannot suppress the immemorial, desolate beast green claw ghost-winged lion under the formation. You obtain the true inheritance. This Gu formation is going to break apart, but you cannot subdue this green claw ghost-winged lion. Aren't you going to run? No, you can't possibly run away, right? We're finished. You're finished. To think that my new master, who has just obtained the true inheritance, is going to die like this. No, there must be a way. Han Li did not want to give up like this. There is no hope. The difference in strength is too great. Sigh. The formation spirit that had manifested from formation of spirit Gu was very pessimistic about this. Like what it said, the Gu formation started to break apart. The entire bronze hall started to turn hollow. The lamp floated and landed on Han Li's shoulder. The true environment showed itself. This was a huge hole under the desert. Large amounts of sand started to fall. Without the immortal Gu formation support, this artificially created cave started to collapse. Han Li had nowhere to escape. Before him was a huge hill-sized green claw ghost-winged lion sprawling on the ground. It was sleeping now. If he was a Gu immortal, he would be able to subdue it according to Zhen Yuanzi's arrangements. Even if he could not, he could make it sleep and prevent it from troubling the inheritor. This was actually part of Zhen Yuanzi's test too. The green claw ghost-winged lion was an immemorial desolate beast. If the inheritor was skilled enough, they would be able to control this green claw ghost-winged lion. But Han Li was not. Not just that, he might get eaten by it instead. Sand continued to fall, landing on the green claw ghost-winged lion and waking it up. Han Li attacked fiercely, but his mortal killer move landed on the green claw ghost-winged lion like a gust of harmless wind. The green claw ghost-winged lion leaped forward and opened its mouth, devouring Han Li entirely.